Plaintiff Brandis Bogg says her former medical marijuana dispensary employee begged her to cover the cost of breast augmentation surgery and then refused to pay her back. She's suing for an unpaid loan. Defendant Kylie Lucero says the new breasts were a gift because her former boss had a lot of money and wanted to help. She's countersuing for harassment. She's accompanied by Troy McConnell.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Bogg versus Lucero.
Thank you, Warren. Brandis Bogg.
Hi, good morning.
You are suing the defendant, Kylie Lucero?
Yes.
For $5,000 you say she owes you for a loan.
Correct.
Okay, so why don't we start from the beginning and tell me how you know Miss Lucero?
Well, Kylie and I started volunteering in dispensaries in summer 2011, and then
what kind of dispensaries?
Medical marijuana dispensaries.
Here in California?
Here in California, where it is legal. And then about
What do you mean by volunteering?
Volunteering, we volunteer our services, our time to help serve patients, make sure that they're knowledgeable of the medication that they are receiving.
So you weren't getting paid?
Correct.
And what were you getting in exchange for volunteering?
Medicine, marijuana.
Okay. And so you have a, right. This is a California audience.
Yeah.
So you were volunteering at the dispensary. In exchange, you were getting medicinal marijuana, you're saying, for
Correct.
free. Why did you need it?
I needed it because I have an immune disorder. I was diagnosed in 2008. The medications that they were prescribing me, it was just not working out for me. I wanted a more holistic way of fixing myself, I guess, and the medical marijuana does do that for me.
And so this was like your full-time, what you were doing full-time, volunteering at this dispensary?
I was doing it part-time. I had a part-time retail job as well.
Okay, and what about you?
Why I smoked?
Yes.
I didn't have any medical condition. We also made tips too.
Okay, so you were volunteering, and did you get medicine as well?
Yes.
But you don't have a
But I
condition.
don't have, no, I don't.
How did you get a prescription if you don't have a condition?
Anybody can get a prescription nowadays. I can say I can't sleep at night and they'll give me a prescription for that.
I see you over there cleaning your nails, sir. You act like you don't even want to look at me right now. Who are you?
I am her boyfriend slash
Okay.
fiance.
Don't understand
Okay, why don't you
he's
have a
here.
seat for a second? So the two of you met at a dispensary?
Correct.
You say, and then that dispensary got shut down?
Correct. Yeah.
Why is
most,
that?
Most alcohol.
Because she was getting medicine for free? And that's illegal?
Yeah, you would think, but no, the DEA comes in and shuts down whatever federally they assign to state police, they go ahead and do because it's a federal order. So it's something that happens between like every year to year and a half of one shop being open.
Were you the only one getting free medicine, or were there others?
There were others.
Yeah.
Everybody-
That's why the
everybody
DEA
does
came in.
Yeah.
Are you aware of this? Are you aware of this sort of volunteering at dispensaries in exchange for medicine?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Coming up, a half-baked contract causes confusion.
They told me as long as it's written down and signed, then you have a contract.
witness.
There was
So
a
there
witness.
was
I don't need a witness. She just, hold on a second, sir. She just admitted to the court that she read and signed this agreement.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
I
need a
didn't think it
witness.
was like
She's the best witness right here.
And later, a lover leaves unexpectedly.
I don't know. I kind of like felt like I was having like a nervous breakdown or something. I mean, I didn't understand what was going on with my body. I was talking
Where
to
did
the
you go?
doctor. I went home.
And you didn't feel comfortable discussing this with your girlfriend, the woman who you'd been living with for almost a year and had been dating for 2 years?
Plaintiff Brandis Bogg says she wanted to see her former employee happy, so she agreed to let her borrow the money for the new breasts. She's suing for an unpaid loan. Defendant Kylie Lucero says she doesn't owe anything because the money was a gift and not a loan. She's countersuing for harassment.
So after that, she goes to get her old job back at her other dispensary under the boss that she did not like. And that's fine. This whole time, though, she's been talking about getting a boob job. I want to get a boob job. I want to get a boob job.
And you talked to her about borrowing the money.
She begged me
I did not
More
beg.
than
She
2-3
offered.
times.
She offered.
She
the money.
begged me about
She
2-3
offered.
times.
Well, tell me about the conversation. Tell me
She
what
offered.
happened.
She was like, I have $30,000 just sitting here. Like, I wouldn't mind giving you the money for your boob job because I couldn't get finance.
Because she probably has bad credit for not paying other people back.
So what do you say the conversation was?
The conversation was she came over, she's like, I really need this money, like, you know, this and that. And then the next time I visited her, it was like, I only need $5,000. I only need $5,000. Please, please, I'll pay you back. I promise. It'll be my priority. And you know, honestly, I got tired of
Did you ever
her
tell
begging.
her that you had $30,000 sitting
No.
in your bank account?
No.
Did you have $30,000 sitting in your bank account?
No.
She
I sure did
offered
not.
because she felt guilty.
I did not
So
have
you're
$30,000.
saying that she
30,000
offered,
cash.
you're
Cash.
saying that she volunteered to give
Volunteered.
you $5,000, no strings attached,
Yep.
just because the two of you were volunteering together at a couple of marijuana dispensaries and had become friends?
Yep, I thought she was my friend.
She had offered her multiple times.
You are
I have
her
not
boyfriend?
offered
Yeah,
anybody
we-
multiple
Step over
times
to the
cash.
left.
we lived together, and she told me, she's like, yeah, Brandy offered
Well,
to
did
loan
you
me the
hear
money.
did you hear the conversation, or are you just telling me what she
No,
told
what
you?
she had told me. She said she offered her the money, but she didn't want to have to owe her money. So
But did you hear that directly from the plaintiff?
no.
Basically, I got tired of her begging me. I was like, okay, you know what? I can manage. I have enough saved up. I come from a wealthy family. I said, okay, if we're gonna go ahead and do this loan, then I wanna write a contract that states that you have to pay me back X amount per month.
Where'd you get the money from?
It's something I've saved over the years. I'm privileged. That's all I gotta really say. I mean, I know how to manage my money, and I don't pay rent. You know, I'm very blessed. So I figured, you know, I'll help somebody else out. I'm a good person. I put others before me. And, you know, if this is something that she wanted for a very long time, this is over 3.5 years she's been talking about this boob job, then, you know what, I'm going to make her dream come true.
So what happened? You gave her $5,000 in cash?
I gave her $5,000 in cash.
Why would you
and-
give her $5,000 in cash? I'm just curious.
Because we had a good friendship.
But you
She
say you know how to
promised-
manage your money and how responsible you are, and I'm just
Yeah.
wondering who gives someone $5,000 in
Wait.
cash without getting a receipt, or why would you do that?
I used to do her hair too in exchange for that.
What?
I used to do her hair for free
I mean,
in exchange
prior
for
to
that.
prior to
You
the
used to
loan,
do her
she was
hair
doing
in
my
exchange for what?
For-
$5,000?
Yeah, for her giving me that money. Yeah. I'm trying to be nice and pay
I
her
would
back
have to
What
do
do you
a
somehow.
lot
charge to
to
do
my hair for
someone's hair?
$5,000.
When she used to pay me, it was $200.
Okay.
And with this, she used to drive an hour and a half to me. She never would specify, okay, it's gonna be $70 for this. She would be, I don't know, just pay me whatever you want. So every time
Did you
she
get
did
the
that, I
Did you
did
get the
that.
breast implants?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a picture.
And do you
of-
have any evidence of how much they cost?
No.
How much did they cost?
$6,000.
You used the $5,000 that
That
you
she gave
got
me,
from her,
yes.
that you say she gave you.
I have the pictures of the before and after.
May I see the photo? Oh, do I want to see this?
On the left is before and on the right is after, which is a very obvious difference.
I mean, okay, so,
You know?
well, she admits that she got the
She's
breast
basically
implants,
flat
so
on the left,
it's
and
not-
then on the right
that's not in dispute.
she has big old knockers on that
Well, I
side.
mean, it's not in dispute. She admits
She's
that
always
she
wanted
did
a
get the
boob job too,
implants.
so don't let her fool you.
I appreciate the photo, but it's not in dispute that she got the
Correct,
boob
it's just
job.
photos of me.
But the question is, do you have any evidence that this was a loan versus a gift?
I do have a written contract.
You signed a contract?
It was not a contract.
May I see what you have, please? What do you say
It's
it is?
online piece of paper. It was a joke. Yeah.
I mean, I come from
There's
a
no lawyer.
background.
There was no
So
I
just
gave
because
no
it's on a lined piece of paper,
I come
you're
from
not
a-
taking it
Yeah.
seriously? It's a joke, and I shouldn't take it seriously?
I mean, I come from a background of
Did
lawyers.
you sign this? Why don't you
She
show
was
the
high
photo,
when she
please?
wrote it, so.
To be honest, I come from a background of lawyers. They told me as long as it's written down and signed, then you have a
The
contract.
witness.
Why isn't he here then? Because he's a
I'm
witness.
asking you a question, ma'am. Is that the document you signed?
Yes.
Okay.
There was
So
a
there
witness.
was
I don't
somebody
need a witness. She just, hold on a second, sir. She just admitted to the court that she read and signed this agreement.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
I
need a
didn't think it
witness.
was
She's
like
she's the best witness right here. She signed
It
it.
says boob fun.
I mean, this is really clear cut. You both signed an agreement. She loaned you $5,000 on August 17, 2014. You agreed to make monthly payments for a year.
She also said I could do
payments
her
between
hair.
$400 and $450. How many times have you done her hair since you signed this agreement?
4 times.
4 times. Okay, so we're not even near $5,000.
No.
Okay, so to be fair, since you did make this side agreement that she would do your hair in exchange for deducting some of the money from the $5,000, here's what we're gonna do. And she did your hair 4 times. So I'm going to deduct $800 for your hair services. What is your counterclaim for $1,000 for harassment about?
For her harassing me for her money?
Asking for the money?
Yes.
Okay, I see no evidence of harassment, ma'am. So your counterclaim is dismissed. Judgment in this case for the plaintiff, $4,200.
Plaintiff Andrea Hughes says her ex-boyfriend played her from day one. So it was no surprise when he broke their lease months early. She's suing for unpaid rent. Defendant Brian Bailey says his ex-girlfriend told him she'd cover the remaining rent and is only demanding the money because she's angry about their breakup.
Andrea Hughes?
Yes.
You are suing the defendant Brian Bailey
Yes.
for $2,400 for unpaid rent?
Yes.
So as I understand it, you're alleging that the defendant did not pay 3 months of rent last year, October, November, and December?
Yes.
At $800 per month? That's where the $2,400
Yes,
that you're suing for
yes.
comes from? Okay, so why don't we start from the very beginning and you tell me how you know Mr. Bailey?
Okay, I met Brian in the beginning of 2012 at our local college. We had a couple of classes together. And despite our age difference,
What is the age difference?
I'm 37 and he is 51. We pretty much hit it off and we started dating. And we dated for almost 2 years when we decided to move in together.
Okay, and what do
Yeah.
you have to say, sir, about how the two of you met?
It was, like you said in the beginning, it was good. Everything was going nice. You know, we hit it off intellectually.
What were you studying at the time?
Television and film.
Okay, and so you had a few classes together and the two of you dated for 2 years before you moved in together?
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, in January of 2014, we moved in, signed a 1-year lease agreement.
Both of you were on the lease?
Yes.
May I have a copy of it, please?
Sure.
And was this a 1-bedroom apartment?
It was a 2-bedroom with a
Two-bedroom.
den, yes.
Okay.
He signed the lease and
What
we
was the
agreed
agreement
to
in
pay
terms of who would pay?
50-50,
Is that true?
Yes, that's correct.
And what was the total amount of rent?
$1,600.
Okay, got it.
And everything was going fine until about September. Had a couple classmates come to me and inform me that I wasn't the first one in school that Brian had seen. And in the beginning of our relationship, he was seeing another student there.
Coming up on Judge Faith, the lovers reveal more about their relationship.
Actually, she was just jealous and insecure. If I talked to anybody, I was like doing something. If I talked to a woman, I'm cheating. If I'm talking to a man, I'm gay. I mean, she was just doing all kinds of stuff, you know?
Plaintiff Andrea Hughes says her ex-boyfriend walked out on the lease and their relationship. She's suing for unpaid rent. Defendant Brian Bailey says he doesn't owe any money because his ex-girlfriend agreed to cover the rest of the lease.
2 years later, at the time, they pretty much told me that it was in the beginning of our relationship that he was seeing someone else.
Oh, at the same time?
Yeah, at the
Okay.
same time. So I questioned him about it. And of course, he denied it. He said that the men who told me that, they just wanted to hit on me, and the women just wanted to cause drama.
Was it true what they were telling her?
No, it wasn't. Actually, she was just jealous and insecure. You know, if I talked to anybody, I was like doing something. If I talked to a woman, I'm cheating. If I'm talking to a man, I'm gay. I mean, she was just doing all kinds of stuff, you know?
So in 2014, you both are still students at the school? At the
Yes.
same school where you
Yes.
met?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're hearing this and you approach him about it?
Yes. And pretty much I didn't have sketched in stone evidence, so I just put it in the back burner for a moment.
Were you
until
being
I-
insecure?
No, I wasn't. You know, I wasn't insecure at all. That was the first time that I approached him with anything as far as cheating or other women or anything like that.
Okay.
Once I put it on the back burner, October the 1st, I came home from work and Brian was gone. He moved his stuff and he was not home and he moved out.
Why would you do that?
I had enough. It started in.
So if you're dating someone for 2 years and you've lived with them for 7 months, You just pick up in the middle of the day, pack up all your stuff, and move out without giving her the tiniest bit of closure?
I was trying to talk to her about it. I had been trying to talk to her about it, but she just wasn't hearing me.
What, a disappearing act? You were going to tell her you were going to pull a disappearing act before you did it?
No, actually, I was trying to talk to her, but she wasn't hearing me. And it was a lot of things going on with me at the time.
So you just left?
Yes.
No warning, no note, you just packed up your things and left?
That's correct.
Like a coward? What was going on?
I was having some physical. In September, I had helped some friends move, and then I ended up having like a cramp in my back, and I ended up massaging it out with a massager, and it went down into my leg. And then it turned out to be like deteriorating disc and sciatic nerve, and I was just in a lot of pain. We weren't engaging in sex a lot and stuff like that. She thought it was that I was seeing somebody else, and it wasn't that at all. I was really trying to figure out what was going on with me, you know?
Did you know he was having some physical issues?
Yes, I knew that he was going to the doctor.
Despite that, why is the solution to that picking up and moving in the middle of the day?
I don't know. I kind of like felt like I was having like a nervous breakdown or something. I mean, I didn't understand what was going on with my body. I was talking to the doctor.
Where did you go?
I went home.
Where's home?
Wisconsin.
And what is your condition now? Is this something that's been resolved?
It's still going on. I mean, I'm going to the doctor every month now.
And you didn't feel comfortable discussing this with your girlfriend, the woman who you'd been living with for almost a year and had been dating for 2 years?
I did talk to her about it, but she just wasn't hearing me.
What I actually think is true, Your Honor. I think he was cheating, and when I questioned him, it shook him up a little bit, and he ran. And that's what I believe.
So you leave, you stop paying rent, but you think he's coming back?
For at least in the beginning of October, I still was thinking that he was coming back.
And that would be okay with you?
It would have been okay because I needed the rent money. I wanted him to come back and take care of his responsibility at home.
Why do you not think you owe for those 3 months, sir, if you were on the lease and disappeared in the middle of the night like you described here today?
Well, when I was there, and after I told her what was going on with me, she told me that it would be okay. She told me that she would take care of it for, that time. I mean, during the relationship, it was times where I paid more money than she did.
I'm not asking you about those times. I'm asking you about October, November, December, which you're obligated to pay half.
At the time, she said that she was going to take care of it, and then I told her, once I got back on my feet and everything, that I was going to help,
Okay, did you ever do that?
No.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
Are you in a relationship now?
No.
Where do you live now?
I'm staying at different families' houses.
In Wisconsin?
Yes.
What do you know about his current living situation?
I just know he moved back home. I do know that there's an ex there. I believe that's where he's at, but I have no clue.
Okay, based on everything I've heard today, you haven't given me a valid defense as to why you don't owe for 3 months of back rent. Even if the two of you were to enter into a new agreement where she agreed to pay for the rent and cover those expenses, I would need to see that in writing because his lease is in writing. In order for you to amend a written lease, you'd have to amend it and agree to it in writing, and I don't have that. So that's the first part of my ruling. The second part of my ruling is I do not believe that she told you you did not have to pay rent for those 3 months. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff, $2,400.
Plaintiffs Dylan and Jim Ferris say Dylan's former roommate and fraternity brother broke a 1-year lease several months early. They're suing for unpaid rent and utility bills. Defendant Jason Cole says living with his fraternity brother was a nightmare, and he was forced to move because he felt unsafe. He's countersuing for emotional distress. He's accompanied by Julie Cole.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Ferris and Ferris versus Cole.
Thank you, Juan. Dylan Ferris?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Jim Ferris?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are suing the defendant Jason Cole for $3,000 for unpaid rent and utilities.
That is correct.
And you are countersuing, sir, for $1,000 for emotional distress?
That is correct, ma'am.
Okay, and who's your witness?
This is my mother.
Okay. We'll start with you, Dylan or Jim, whoever wants to start. Why don't you tell me what's going on here, what happened, and why you're suing the defendant?
Okay, well, Your Honor, we originally met freshman year of college at the University of Toledo. We met through the Army ROTC program there at UT. We started becoming good friends about a year later because we joined the same fraternity. And then about a year after that, so about in 14, we decided that we wanted to live together, room together.
So what month and year did the two of you move in together?
That was May of 14. That's when they entered into the lease. He and Jason entered into the lease. The lease is clearly set for 3 people, and so there was discussion to bring in a third.
So you would split the rent 50-50 until you found a third person? Was that the agreement?
It never really got to that point, okay, because there were three people living there, okay, in the house, whereas Jason was going back to California, and they made an arrangement whereas he could keep his truck and keep his belongings there for the summer, okay, for a reduced rate.
Are you about to tell me about other people who are not on the lease living in the apartment?
Yes, and it was
okay.
his
That was
girlfriend.
supposed to be, well, there was supposed to be the arrangement, as I understood, that when Jason came back, there would be another roommate that it wouldn't be Dylan's girlfriend, it would be another guy that was moving in. And somewhere along the line over the summer, while Jason was home in California, that fell through, and when Jason came back, the girlfriend was living there.
Your girlfriend?
Yes.
Okay.
But my girlfriend moved in very shortly after Jason moved in, probably 4 to 5 days, maybe. He knew, and I had talked to him about it before she had moved in.
What did the landlord say about her? Because I don't see her as a part of the contract here.
Shortly after Jason moved in, Your Honor, we started pushing towards getting her on the lease. And everything was done for her to be on the lease. Her parental cosign was done. Everything except for her name actually being on the lease. That wasn't brought up, or we didn't even know that was the case until Jason moved out, and my landlord had called me.
You didn't know she wasn't on the lease?
No, we had, the whole time, we had thought that her name was on the lease,
well,
right alongside me and Jason.
She would have to sign a document.
She had done paperwork and everything, and she had done the parental cosign, so I guess it kind of fell in the cracks because my landlord never contacted and said, hey, whoa, there's 3 people living there, there's only 2 people on the lease. What's up with that? We didn't know that her name wasn't on the lease until he moved out. And then my landlord contacts me and says, why isn't her name on the lease? And I said, okay, let's get it on the lease. We have her parental cosign done. We have everything we need to do. Let's have her go in and sign so we can make this official.
And did that happen?
We needed everybody else's on the lease. We needed their agreement.
Right.
Jason refused.
When we knew that we needed to have Jason move out, we suggested that the girlfriend take his place. And the landlord would not consent to that. He would not help to make that happen. He seemed more standoffish and not helpful in these proceedings.
Is that true?
My girlfriend wasn't allowed on the lease because you needed everybody on the lease's agreement.
He would not consent.
He refused. And in turn, he wasn't allowed off the lease because you need everybody's agreement on the lease.
So you broke the lease when you moved out?
I did break the lease because I felt I wasn't safe there anymore.
What were the issues you had living there?
Coming up, the roommates reach a breaking point when a gun is revealed in the home.
He would be sitting on the couch and the gun would just be in front of him. He would carry it to the restroom with him, and it kind of gave me a reason, just like, why is he bringing this around now?
Okay, what's going on?
And later, a dispute over who caused a car crash.
The door actually was stuck from the collision. It wasn't major, but it got dented in and it got scratched up.
Is this photo from the date of the incident?
Probably 3 months.
3 months later.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to know the damages from this accident and not from something that occurred during the 3-month period in between?
Plaintiffs Dylan and Jim Ferris say Jason broke his lease early. They're suing for unpaid rent and utility bills. Defendant Jason Cole says he was forced to move because Dylan made him feel unsafe. He's countersuing for emotional distress.
He felt unsafe because Dylan had a gun and he would use it to intimidate Jason.
What happened? Wow. What are you saying happened?
There was an event on October 8th when he found out that I was trying to move out. So he came to me and said, hey, I want to talk about this. I said, no, I'll only discuss this with the landlord present. So I went to my room and locked my door. He didn't accept that as an answer, so he proceeded to come to my room and bang on my door. He was threatening to break the door down, swearing onwards and on for about 20 minutes until I finally came out and tried to talk to him.
When does the gun come in?
The gun came in the next day when I shut the door, emailed my professor, said I can't take this test, left the house. Next day I started to move out. The gun starts coming around, and I said, this is just the end of it. This is giving me every reason to get out. And I alerted the landlord that I would no longer be
When you
living
say
there
the
anymore.
gun was coming around, be specific as to what you observed. I'll give you an opportunity to respond, but what are you saying you observed?
He would be sitting on the couch, and the gun would just be in front of him. He would carry it to the restroom with him, and it kind of gave me a reason, just like, why is he bringing this around now? Why does why does he suddenly have a gun?
Where do you want me to start, Your Honor?
Do you have a gun? Did you have a handgun?
Yes, Your Honor.
I have a picture of the gun.
How old are you?
I'm 20 years old.
Okay.
The gun is registered under my father's name.
It's my gun.
And you're not supposed to possess it
In my
at
home.
20 years old. What were you doing with the gun in your apartment?
It was home defense. The gun was on my nightstand. I never threatened him with it, and I never even pulled it out around him.
This isn't my first rodeo. I've heard people come in and they break the lease and they say, I wasn't safe, I didn't feel safe. And it's a convenient excuse sometimes to use to get out of a lease. The second thing is you have a duty to mitigate, and that means you can't just come into court and say, hey, he owes me for 6 months rent. You have to prove to me that you actually tried to find someone else to replace him on the lease. You're in the fraternity. You have all these fraternity brothers. University of Toledo is a big school. I find it hard to believe for the remainder of this lease, you could not find one other person to move in, or perhaps you wanted the house for you and your girlfriend to have to yourselves. I don't know. But in this case, I'm not awarding you money for emotional distress because your remedy was to move out of the home. You didn't call the police, you didn't go forward with a formal complaint against him. I'm not awarding you monetary damages for emotional distress. And since you testified that you're suing for unpaid rent for 6 months, you're also suing for the utilities. You said perhaps only $10 or $20 was the amount that he didn't pay. I'm not ordering him to pay any of the utilities as well. And then the third thing I want to say is stay away from each other, because this is my ruling and this is my judgment based on the evidence. So I need for both of you to be grown-ups at this point. Stop talking about things on Facebook. Don't go back to school and start talking about this case and each other. Well, he tricked the judge and he said this and he said all these things about me, because I'm telling you, I didn't base my case on that. I based my case on emails and documents that he wrote before he ever knew there would be a lawsuit in this case. I find those documents to be credible. Judgment in this case for the defendant.
Plaintiff Jesus Padilla says he was merging into his lane when the defendant's car hit his Astro van. He's suing for damages to his van. Defendant Timmy Tiet says he doesn't owe any additional money because the plaintiff was found to be partially at fault and received a check from Timmy's insurance company.
Jesus Padilla?
Yes.
You were suing the defendant, Timmy Tiet?
Yes.
For $2,000 for damages to your van you say he caused in a car accident?
That's correct.
Okay, let's start from the beginning, sir. Tell me what happened.
On February 5th, 2013, I was on my way to pick up my son from school, so about 3 o'clock. I was driving northbound on San Gabriel. I submitted some map to the court, if you'd like to take a look at it.
Okay, let's pull that up.
For the area. I was driving northbound on San Gabriel Boulevard. I normally turn on Dewey, which is the next street up.
Why don't you step over to the
okay.
map and you can just point to me and tell me which direction you were traveling.
I would normally go to the next street up, but there was heavy traffic on San Gabriel Boulevard. I entered the left turn lane from this broken area and moved forward in a slow manner. There was cars coming this way, so heavy traffic, so I had to slow down.
Just point to what lane you were in and which direction you were traveling, so
This lane,
clear.
going northbound.
Okay.
So I was going northbound, about to make my left turn, had to slow down for oncoming traffic, like I said, and the defendant hit me about this area, about 1 car length in front of where I would have named my turn.
Well, where was he coming from?
He was also going northbound, picking up his child also from the same school.
So he was in the lane to your right?
Yes, the lane right next to me.
Okay, so he's traveling in the lane to the right and he crosses over to get into your lane?
Yeah, he merges into my lane, and strikes my vehicle on the passenger side, hitting the passenger side door and the sliding door on the Astro van.
Okay, all right, thank you. And how do you say this happened, sir?
The day that I was trying to get in from the
Right lane to the
right
left lane,
lane to the left
merging.
lane, and before I was making my left, I was looking at the left lane to see any clearing before I turn in. So when I went in, that's when he sideswiped me, and then I didn't even like, really hit him. So
he sideswiped you?
Yes, he was like running the turn.
Okay, why don't you go over to the map and point to me? Tell me which lane you were in.
I was on this lane, going this lane, trying to get to my left, and then I was trying to here. By the time I got to here, I saw there's no car, so I went in. And then I guess he came behind me and then went over it, and we were making a left, and we were here exchanging information already.
Okay, so you were merging into the left lane. He was already in the left lane. Did you have damages to your car as well?
Yeah.
So what happened after the accident? Did you call the police? Is there a police report?
There's not a police report.
Why not?
Well, we didn't feel that there was a need for one. There was also
really?
a rush to go pick up our children from school.
Okay.
They were a priority. When we pulled over, I mean, as you can see, what he pointed out, he entered through the solid white line. If he would have looked over, if he would have seen his mirror, he would have noticed a big blue Astro van right next to him, right? You know, we weren't speeding. Traffic was slow because of heavy traffic. So all he had to do was look over to see my vehicle there, and he would have avoided this collision.
He's saying that he was getting over into a lane and there was no traffic and you tried to pull up.
That's incorrect, Your
So
Honor.
he would.
Heavy traffic.
That's his version. So you have your version, he has his version, and you decided not to call the police because there was no need to. But look where you are 2 years later.
Yes.
Coming up, Judge Faith digs deeper and discovers the rest of the story.
Basically, they were giving me the runaround. They were giving me the short end of the stick. They didn't want to help me out. The accident was 100% his fault. He hit me from the side. There was no way I could.
According to you.
Yes.
According to him, it's not.
Plaintiff Jesus Padilla says the money he received from the insurance company wasn't enough to pay for the damage caused by the crash. He's suing for damages to his van. Defendant Timmy Tiet says he doesn't owe any further money because the plaintiff was found to be partially at fault.
Show me where the damages are to your vehicle.
Your Honor, when I pulled over, I have pictures also submitted to the court. The damage on my vehicle starts from this AWD from here and back on. That's where his front.
One, would you hand me the photo?
Yes.
Do we have that in the flat screen?
As you can see from the pictures, it's kind of hard to tell. It's not a major collision. It was really slow. So he dented in the...
Show me walk over to the flat screen and show me where the damage is.
So the damage, you can see from this little dimple here, starts from here and ends about right here. The door hinge got angled in. The door actually was stuck from the collision. It wasn't major, but it got dented in and it got scratched up.
Is this photo from the date of the incident?
This photo was, I'm gonna say, months, probably 3 months.
3 months later.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to know the damages from this accident and not from something that occurred during the 3-month period in between? Step back over to the lectern.
It was never damage to the doorknob or any of those things that I noticed of.
What's going on about the damages to your car?
So when I was trying to go through the insurance.
The two of you exchange information?
Yes.
When we pulled over on Norwood, I got out. I was trying to assess the damages, and at that point, I saw how sketchy he kind of was. He wasn't very clear about what he was trying to do. It just didn't get a good vibe from him.
Mm-hmm.
So I told him, I'm recording this, man. I put the cell phone in my pocket. I was recording it with audio device, my cell phone. And that's when I submitted to the court is this audio recording that he was basically saying, you know, I'll fix it for you. Basically, he's admitting fault. You know, he's saying that we'll take care of it.
Okay, I want to hear the audio recording. Did you admit fault?
No.
Did you say you take care of it?
No, I never said I take care of it. I said I'll give it to my insurance. I'll give my statement to my insurance. It's the insurance have saying that partial is my fault, partial is his fault.
Did you tell him that day, oh, I'm sorry I hit you, I'll take care of this?
No, I never say that word. No,
okay,
sorry.
let me hear the audio.
There's two ways of giving it, okay? I can just give you some money and you have it, get rid of it, or you can, because the insurance will say anything under 500, it's gonna come out of my pocket. They won't take it.
Yeah. All right.
So, what do you want to do?
Well, we still got to figure out how much it's going to cost, because if it costs more than that, then I mean, it's better off going through the insurance. You know?
This is a small little matter.
Yeah, that's something small, man. That's no big deal.
Oh, I can just give you $100 and we just go in all separate way.
So.
I mean, you're both saying that this is, he said it's a small matter. You said, yeah, it's a small matter, no big deal. So why are you here suing for $2,000?
Because that's the estimate that I got from Body Shop was $2,500 for
what?
For the damages to the vehicle.
That $2,500 is more than that van is even worth.
Your Honor, I believe the Clearly Blue Book at the time was about $2,700. $2,500 is the damages to fix the vehicle. I understand the cost of the vehicle.
Where's your estimate that it would cost $2,500 to fix the damage as a result of this accident?
Unfortunately, Your Honor, I lost that paperwork in the midst of moving, and I don't have it with me
But you
currently.
knew you were coming to court today, and this is your case.
I did. Your Honor, my intentions at the beginning were never to sue. I wanted to get it cleared, fixed through the insurance.
How am I supposed to assess damages if you have no proof of what they are?
The insurance, Your Honor, paid me a sum of $474.84.
Okay.
And they told me that was 25% of what their estimated repair costs were.
So they only paid 25%.
So, Your Honor,
what did you pay out of pocket to fix the van?
I haven't fixed it. It wasn't fixed. The accident was 100% his fault. He hit me from the side. There was no way I could.
According to you?
Yes.
According to him, it's not.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
What else do you have in terms of putting fault aside? How do I know how much it would cost to repair the van? Where's the van?
The van has been sold since the accident, Your Honor.
You don't have the van anymore?
I don't have the van anymore.
You
it has
sold
been
it?
over 2 years since the van was in the
you're
accident.
asking for money to repair a van that you don't even own anymore?
I'm asking for money for the van that I could have sold for more. I sold the van for about $500.
Show me proof that you sold the van for $500.
I don't have that proof with me, Your Honor.
I can't help you, sir. I can't help you. You tell me you sold the van for $500. For all I know, you sold it for $2,500. You have no proof in court as to how much you sold the van for. You don't own the van anymore. I can't help you, sir. Your case is dismissed. Judgment in this case for the defendant.
Plaintiff Acacia Dolphin says she loaned her former jailhouse bunkmate money, but when she allowed her to move into her home, everything went haywire. She's suing for an unpaid loan. Defendant Nancy Diaz says they were best friends and she's hurt by the actions of her former roommate, but she doesn't owe anything because the money was a gift.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Dolphin versus Diaz.
Thank you, Juan. Acacia Dolphin?
Yes, Your Honor.
You were suing the defendant, Nancy Diaz?
Yes, Your Honor.
For $2,888 for unpaid loans?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so why don't we start from the beginning? How do you know Ms. Diaz?
I met Nancy Diaz in Maricopa County Jail in April of 2010. I had a small warrant out for my arrest. I had missed a court date in Florida because I was having emergency surgery and the judge didn't
What do you mean by
believe it.
small warrant?
I was involved in a criminal case, falsely accused of child abuse, which has been dropped, and I have won. While I was in county jail, she was my bunkie. She was the gal next to me in the county jail bunk system, and we became friends. And so once I got out, she started writing me and being.
What were you in jail for?
Sales of methamphetamine, Your Honor.
Did you plead guilty or did you go to trial?
I was guilty.
Okay, when did you get out?
I got out February 19, 2014.
And then after she left, that was in 2013?
2010, Your Honor.
So when you get out in 2010, you remain in contact with her throughout the rest of her sentence all the way through 2014?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, what happens?
We started building a friendship through telephone calls and letters, and I started visiting her in November of 2010 and continuously visit her when my time allowed until she got out in February of 2014.
And how would you describe this relationship with her?
I didn't believe that she would still be in my life after we left county jail and I went to prison, but it did happen. And I was grateful for it.
Why are we here? You're now suing her. You say that she owes you almost $3,000 in unpaid loans. Tell me about that.
I sent her money while she was in prison. She was in a women's program for about 18 months, which was a 5 to 8 hour day program, so she was unable to work while in that program. And it was supposed to be making her a better person and deal with life and come out the other side of prison and be a good citizen.
Okay.
So being an ordained minister, I thought this was a good cause.
You're an ordained minister?
Yes, Your Honor.
How long have you been ordained?
Since 2000.
How is she supposed to pay you back? She has no money. She's incarcerated.
She was due to get out. When she got out, she had promised she would not only
4
pay...
years later?
Yes, ma'am.
So how much did you send her? And in what intervals?
It was anywhere from $25 up to $80 a month. I have those records if you'd like to see that.
I'd love to see it.
And
so what would you do? Put this on her?
I never agreed to pay anything back, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
What was the conversation that you had with her about the money that you were sending her?
She was going to cook and clean for me and take care of me since I do have several health issues.
Starting in October of 2010, all the way through October 2013, you would send, according to your records, you send her money in $15 and $20 and $40 intervals over the course of these 3 years. And it's your testimony here that you made it clear to her that these were loans and this was money that would be paid back. That's your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's not true, Your Honor.
And then she was going to move into my house, which she did, but she only lasted 14 days because she broke the house rules.
You're not contesting that she sent you this money.
No,
but
ma'am,
you're
I'm not.
contesting it was a loan. Tell me
I'm contesting
your
it was a loan. I told her, you know, I have no way of paying you back. I don't know what my life is going to be like when I get out of prison. She goes, well, when you move in, we'll just, you know, you bring me to the doctors, clean, whatever. You know, I did agree to do those things when I lived in her home. I came out of prison with a broke foot. So I couldn't even get work when I came out of prison because I was on crutches. I owe her legitimately $130. That's it. Nothing more. That was for a bicycle that she bought me so I could get back and forth when I got my job.
So there was this agreement that she would get out in 2014 and take care of you?
Yes, and within 4 days, she's putting a cigarette in my face going, do you mind if I go out on the patio and smoke this, Your Honor? My rules are you do not smoke in my house or on my property, in my life around me. And so she didn't smoke it that day, and 3 days later, I found a cigarette butt in my toilet, and I was livid. I picked it up out of the toilet, I called her parole officer, and I said, well, do you want to come get her, or would you like me to hand deliver her back to prison? She's broke house rules, and I'm done. And within 4 days, her parole officer moved her out of my house.
Coming up, a promise made in prison can't be kept.
What happened to the promises, I'll take care of you when you get sick or you get hurt? She tells me she's busy and got a boyfriend and
So that's what this is really about.
And later, one of their stories is full of holes.
She put a piece of cardboard in a mat over the hole, trying to cover it. And the repairman, as he was leaving the home, he stepped on it, not knowing that it was a hole underneath, and he almost fell through it.
Plaintiff Acacia Dolphin says her former friend broke all the house rules, and now she wants her money back with interest. She's suing for an unpaid loan. Defendant Nancy Diaz says she's shocked by her former cellmate's behavior, and she owes nothing because there was never an expectation to pay the money back.
Why are you just bringing this lawsuit now, a year later?
I've been trying to get her to have morally correct and hoping that she would step up and do what's morally correct now that she has a job and a good paying job. I was hoping that the good person that I thought she had turned into while I visited her in prison.
It was because of a protection order.
She was going to actually pay her bill and pay her debt.
Why do you say she brought this lawsuit?
She didn't bring the lawsuit till after I tried to serve her with an order of protection, which I have here.
Why did you try to serve her with an order of protection?
Because I was getting emails from her, phone calls late at night. I work, Your Honor, I'm a truck driver. I work late hours. She was calling me, texting me, cursing me out, calling me everything but the child of God. Because I wasn't taking care of her like I said I would do.
You're suing for $1,400 in cash, you say you loaned to the defendant. What is the $874 in food package reimbursement? What is that about?
You can send care packages. You can order online through a company and send care packages of goodies and food and snacks into people in prison. And at that time, she was working. So now she had her own money coming in from a job.
So you want her to reimburse you for care packages that you sent to her in prison as well?
Absolutely. Several
May I see your evidence?
I need to put my glasses on so I can see what I'm giving you. And, oh, wait, sir, this is the order of protection order that I put against her. Grant you, it's very graphic from an ordained minister.
I've read a lot of text messages and letters where people curse people out and tell them off. I have to tell you, this is the worst I've ever seen.
Over 500,
Your
just
Honor,
like
for
that.
someone who said she was promised she'd take care of me when I got
You
ill.
end this letter with, "We all hope you die a horrible, horrendous, blood-peeling, tear-jerking death. Goodbye, B. The devil and worse awaits your arrival."
But what happened to the promises, I'll take care of you when you get sick or you get hurt, and I end up in a nasty car wreck, and when I ask her to help take care of me and take me grocery shopping and take me to the doctor, she tells me she's busy and got a boyfriend and
So that's
doesn't
what
care.
this is really about. Whether it's justified or not, she feels that when you got out of prison and you gained your freedom, you turned your back on her in her time of need, but she was there for you in your time of need.
Absolutely.
But the issue is, ma'am, I do not believe that this money that you sent to her over the course of 3 years, I don't believe for a second that it was ever meant to be a loan. Perhaps she wasn't a good friend when she got out of prison to you. That doesn't turn what were clearly gifts and care packages you sent to help her out into a loan. You concede that you owe her $130 for the bicycle that you purchased for you. Judgment in this case for the plaintiff, $130.
Karma was served.
Plaintiff Sharif Baker says his tenant is purposely damaging his home because she wants out of the lease early. He's suing for property damage and repairs. He's accompanied by Larry Thompson. Defendant Robin Franklin says her landlord's home failed housing inspection because it's a beautiful trash can that constantly needs repair. She's countersuing for damages and emotional stress.
Sharif Baker,
Yes, ma'am.
you are suing the defendant Robin Franklin
Yes, Your Honor.
for $3,500 for property damage and repairs to a home you say she's currently living in.
Yes, ma'am.
And you are countersuing, ma'am, for $3,025 for the cost of groceries and damaged kitchen utensils and emotional stress?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so I understand from the write-up that she's a current tenant of yours.
Yes, she is, Your Honor.
Okay, why don't you just start from the beginning and tell me what's going on here?
The defendant moved in August 11th, and she's a Section 8 recipient.
What city is this in?
This is in the city of Detroit.
Okay.
Okay. I have a beautiful home that I take very much pride in.
I understand you submitted a photo to the court. Let's take a look at it.
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And do you live in Detroit?
No, ma'am, I don't. I live in Atlanta.
Okay, so do you have someone who lives in the city that oversees,
Well,
like a property manager?
Yes, ma'am. My aunt actually has a property right next door to the right of it. So she actually lives there in the city, so she was like my eyes and ears for what's going on.
Okay, and when did Miss Franklin move into the home?
She moved in on August the 11th
Of what year?
of 2014.
You're suing her.
Yes, ma'am.
For damages you say she caused.
Yes,
What are the
ma'am.
damages?
The damages to my gate. Before she moved in, Your Honor, it's a fence, a white vinyl fence I installed.
It's a fence gate.
Brand new. I have pictures of the fence before and after.
How do you say she damaged it?
Well, initially, she sent me a text message about 2 weeks after she moved in.
Yep.
And she claimed that the rain, there was such a hard rain. And so, okay, I sent someone out there to repair it. Then on September the 20th, I get a picture from my aunt. She said, "This is what your new gate looked like." Now, the picture that my aunt sent me, there's a lot more damage than the first picture that she sent.
But you had already gotten it fixed.
Yes, I did. Apparently, she damaged it again, and when I called her, she claimed that her aunt ran her vehicle into the back of the car. She said
Did that happen?
into the gate.
Your Honor, the first
Did
time.
that happen?
Yes, I admitted to it. It's in
So
my
your
evidence.
aunt
Yeah, she bumped it, but it was already broken. And when he had sent the repairman out, it has the actual stick in the back of it. It's unlevel. It never was fixed. We live in Michigan, Your Honor. This is not a gate. It's a gate slip. And you're supposed to have wood posts to hold it up. So when the wind came, it blew it down. And my neighbor saw that. I presented that in evidence as well.
Let me see the evidence.
No, you're not going to bring me here like that.
At the time that I installed that fence, I also installed a fence going around the house, the front of the house. So if she claimed that the wind was so strong that it knocked that down, how come it didn't knock the smaller fence down, which is much smaller than that?
Let's
That's
go to
6
the
feet.
next. And what is this?
Well, that's after the doors came off, the 2 panels. Also, Your Honor, she sent me a video of her standing in front of the fence and the wind is blowing, and she's...
Yeah, the wind is blowing, it's about to fall, so before it fall, I want to notify him.
She's claiming that the wind is causing damage.
Let me look at the
all
video.
of it fell.
Here go the part that just flew on the ground. I ain't do that. And then you can see the where the little piece flew over there. There's another piece that flew off right there.
I mean, there is a lot of wind. You can hear the wind in the phone, so there is some wind.
But my argument is the integrity of the structure was compromised when her aunt when she hit the gate.
The porch is the most significant part of your lawsuit in terms of damages.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what happened.
Well, again, Your Honor, she claimed the elements caused that. She said the snow caused the porch damage.
Let me see the photo of the porch damage.
I don't know what kind of snow caused this.
May I explain this photo?
What is? Well, that's a hole, and is that concrete?
It's a concrete porch, Your Honor.
That's spread from the cracks that are in his porch.
How did you find out about the hole?
I sent my aunt to accompany a repairman to fix the loose step. She put a piece of cardboard in a mat over the hole, trying to cover it. And the repairman, as he was leaving the home, he stepped on it, not knowing that it was a hole underneath, and he almost fell through it.
When did you have this repaired?
I had it repaired. Well, immediately I had someone come over the next day to give me an estimate.
And do you have proof of the repairs that you made?
Yes, I did. Your Honor, I got an estimate for $2,600. Apparently, I didn't have $2,600 to fix it, so I paid someone $400 to do a patchwork for me. So that's what I did pay.
But why are you suing her for $2,600?
Because that's what it costs to really fix the porch. I just did a patch. I don't have $2,600 to pay.
But there's just one hole. So you want her to pay for a whole new porch?
It's not a whole new porch. It's what I got the quote for to fix the hole and repair the damages.
Coming up on Judge Faith, the damage is disputed.
Section 8, they gave me permission to move after he failed 2 inspections. That's when I found out I was getting a lawsuit, so they're not allowing me to move until we come back from this case.
She was just gonna leave my property with the porch and the gate like that.
Plaintiff Sharif Baker says his tenant is purposely damaging the rental home. He's suing for property damage and repairs. Defendant Robin Franklin says she started having problems the day she moved into the home. She's countersuing for damages and emotional stress.
Now, I've been hearing a lot about this aunt, but she's not here. You're here.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Why don't you step over to the lectern and tell me what you have to say about this, sir?
Basically, I was over there repairing the hole that's in the wall because we had some electrical work done. No one can tell us why there was a hole in the wall. It's a hazard. She has kids. So immediately when we got in town, I need to go over there and repair that work. So I went over there, patched it up, painted it up, and put up, asked her if anything else.
So you're talking about another hole now in the wall of your home that you're not suing for.
She didn't, right.
What's
she didn't
that about?
disclose.
What's that about?
I have a list right here from Section 8 where he failed 2 inspections. The electrician, nothing in my home was working, including my heat. And so when he went in the wall to get the wiring, he had to remove part of the wall to get to the wiring. And that's what he's talking about, Your Honor.
Your Honor, that's not true. Actually, I have American Home Shield.
Here's my list.
I have American Home Shield, Your Honor, and when she said she had electrical issues, I dispatched them out immediately. They actually said that Ms. Franklin had someone at the home doing electrical work. And I said, oh, really? I said, because I'm not going to pay for no electrical work because I have American Home Shield.
If the two of you are obviously have a contentious relationship and you're suing her now, why are you still living there? Do you not want to move?
Okay, that's where he's suing me for today. Because Section 8, they gave me permission to move after he failed 2 inspections. And once they told me I could move, I put a request in to move. And that's when I found out I was getting a lawsuit, so they're not allowing me to move until we come back from this case.
Is that true?
They're not allowing her to move because I contacted Section 8 and I gave them the history and rundown and basically all the things that she's been doing since she's been on my property.
Why would you not want her to move?
Exactly.
I do want her to move. However, I do want to get this resolved first. She went behind my back and come to find out that she had put in a notice to move. So she was just gonna leave my property with the porch and the gate like that.
Not true.
When Section 8 informed me that she was moving, which I didn't even know she had planned on moving, I had told them, how is she able to move with all the damage that she caused? They said the only way to stop her from moving is to go file a small claims case against her.
Because you're alleging she's tearing it up on purpose?
Yeah, she is tearing it up on purpose. She is.
What is your counterclaim about?
Me and my son, we were standing in the kitchen and I heard a big, popping noise. And my refrigerator started to spark. And everything went out in the house.
You're countersuing because you say when the electricity went out, this damaged your freezer and your microwave. Please show me proof of that. Freezer,
my microwave
being damaged.
I presented a receipt for my microwave.
I would like to see proof that those items were damaged. Do you have photos? What do you have to prove that those things were damaged?
No, I don't have photos. I have receipts, though.
receipts that you purchased them doesn't help you prove your case that they were damaged.
Okay, Section 8, I should have bought them photos.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
I'm not going to find that she intentionally was damaging your home. I think there are some damages here based on the photos that you submitted. She admits that her aunt ran into the fence.
Yes, ma'am.
I saw the video she submitted. So whether or not her aunt completely damaged the fence, she did cause some damage. So I am going to order you, and under the law, you're responsible for that. So I'm going to order you to pay partial damages.
Okay.
I'm going to order her to pay $400 in damages for the fence. And in addition, the porch repair, how much did you pay?
I paid $400.
I'm going to order you to pay the $400 that he paid to do the patchwork on the porch. On your counterclaim, ma'am, you have no proof that the electricity caused damage to your freezer or your microwave. I'm dismissing your counterclaim. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff, $800 plus court costs.
Plaintiff Amber Lee says her roommate was flirting with a guy when she threw the water that ruined her computer. She's suing for the cost to repair her laptop. She's accompanied by Reza Tabika. Defendant Mecca Johnson says she doesn't owe anything because her roommate told her to throw the water that destroyed the laptop.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Lee versus Johnson.
Thank you, Juan. Amber Lee?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are suing Mecca Johnson?
Yes.
For $895, the cost of a laptop you say she destroyed?
Yes.
And you have a witness with you today?
Yes.
And you are Reza, is it Tabika?
Takiba.
Okay. Okay, so we'll start with you, Miss Lee. Tell me what's going on here. How do you know the defendant?
We all go to school together. We are roommates. So,
what school do you go to?
North Carolina A&T State University. Me and my 3 roommates, we were all moved in before Ms. Johnson moved in.
Are you a roommate as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. When she moved in, everything was fine. We were all cool. We were friends for a while. Up until March 24th, then that day changed.
Tell me about what happened in March with the laptop.
On March 24th, I was in the living room. I was working on a school assignment in the living room. My laptop was plugged in.
What kind of laptop?
It is a MacBook Pro. I was in the living room working on an assignment. I got up and went to our 4th roommate's room because we was taking a class together. I went in her room to ask her a question. Ms. Johnson and one of our friends walked in and they were flirting very hard that week, and they were playing around a lot. She threw water on him, but she missed. At this point,
how did she throw water? She have a cup or?
It was a bottle of water. I guess the top was off. I didn't know the top was off at the time. When she threw the water, she missed. It got on the floor. When it first happened, I was like, yo, chill, like you're actually throwing it. I thought she was just gonna fake it. She threw it again. And this time, she missed again, but it got on my laptop. So.
Was it a lot of water?
Yeah. I'm upset at this point. I'm yelling, I'm screaming, I'm saying everything under the sun. Me and Mecca, we both took the laptop and we rushed it over to the kitchen, and we taking paper towels, everything we can to try to save it. We're both pressing the power button to try to get it turned back on. And
where was the laptop when she threw the water?
It was on the couch. It was charging.
And was your laptop completely damaged? You can't get it to work again after that?
No.
Okay. And it was working before that?
Yes.
What happened?
So we were all playing outside, and she was downstairs doing something. We all came back in the house because he had said something to me that was really inappropriate. I was like, oh,
Who is we?
All of us. She was outside. Amber was outside.
Okay. So then you walk back in the house,
Yeah.
all of you at the same time?
No, it was individually, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna take this bottle of water and I'm gonna throw it on you. So I had chugged the first time and I didn't miss.
So you took a bottle of water and you threw it on this guy friend?
Yes.
Okay.
So after I did that, she was like, oh, you missed, oh, you missed. I said, okay, I'm gonna do it again. And then I did it again, and her laptop was sitting on the couch open, and that's how it got wet.
You did throw water and it hit her laptop?
Yes, and from that point,
So why do you think you're not responsible?
Because when I gave her the computer, like she said when we rushed it to the kitchen, to take it out, the computer turned on. I gave it to her, dried it out, and I turned it off. I said, do not turn back on the computer. Do not plug it up. She went in her room and she plugged it up. Everybody knows if you get water on something electronic, you do not plug it up.
Your issue is she didn't take the necessary steps to try to fix the laptop once it was wet.
Yeah, because when I gave it back to her, it was working. It turned on.
Is that true?
I gave it to her.
No.
What part of that isn't true?
It was making weird noises, the screen was flashing, different things.
And when did she first tell you that, hey, my laptop isn't working?
About 5 minutes after we put it in the room, after she took it in the room, I told her not to.
5 minutes later. So 5 minutes later, she tells you her laptop isn't working.
Yeah.
So we know that it's probably the result of it getting wet, right?
After she plugged it up.
Did you put it in rice? Some people put those. I put my phone in rice when it got wet.
After the incident happened, when she said I took it in my room, I was on my phone Googling how to save a MacBook computer, and it told me to turn it upside down on the towel to let it drain out. I went to Walmart and I got 3 bags of rice, came back, dumped it all in the bucket, and I put my laptop in it overnight. So
when was the first time you plugged it in?
When was the first time? After we took it from the kitchen.
Coming up, a line is drawn, and one of these roommates is on the wrong side of the law.
The only reason why you threw water is because she told you?
No, the first time I did it on my own will.
Do you do everything that she tells you to do?
Oh, no, absolutely
because
not.
She told you to pay for her laptop, but you didn't do that.
No, because...
And later, somebody should have swiped left instead of right.
I came across some really unfortunate Yelp reviews of women that he had done the same thing prior to.
She knows because they became friends.
You want me now to fix all of this?
Plaintiff Amber Lee says her roommate ruined her computer. She's suing for the cost to repair her laptop. Defendant Mecca Johnson says she doesn't owe anything because her roommate encouraged her to throw the water that destroyed the laptop.
Okay, all right. What do you have to add?
She said she didn't know her computer was messed up until after. That's not true because they were in the kitchen. I was in the living room, and I heard her saying, my computer isn't working. You're gonna pay me money. You're gonna fix my computer. She never said her computer was working. So I don't know where she's getting that from, but that wasn't it.
And but you also said in your statement that you feel that you don't owe because she told you to keep throwing the water?
Yes,
Is that true?
That's what I'm saying. The second time when I missed the first time, she was like, oh, you missed it, do it again. So I did it again.
Okay, so you're saying that the only reason why you threw water is because she told you
No,
to?
the first time I did it on my own well-being.
Do you do
but the
everything
second
that she
time-
tells you to do?
Oh, no, absolutely
because
not.
Because she told you to pay for her laptop, but you didn't do that.
No, because I did not. The reason why I threw the water the second time is because, one, I did not know that her laptop was back there. If she really cared about her property that much, she would not have left it open on a couch. And for you not to have an insurance
Well, I know you didn't know it was
something-
there. I don't think you did it intentionally.
Yeah,
What's the second issue?
The second thing is for her not to have insurance on something that costs so much is kind of ridiculous. I'm not saying that I don't feel bad about the whole situation, but
So do you have insurance on your laptop?
Yes, my laptop's only $500. I have insurance on it. So for her to keep on egging me on to throw the water, and then when it spills up there and I try to fix it, I even offer her to buy her new laptop because I wanted her to get her work done.
Oh, so you offered to buy her a new laptop. Tell me about that.
Yes. She said, well, Apple said it's going to take $750 to fix the computer. I said, okay, well, I don't have $750, but I'll buy you another computer. She said,
for how much?
For anything, like not an Apple. I can't afford an Apple, obviously.
How much did you tell her you could afford?
Just a Windows computer. The same computer I got. My computer was like $500.
So you want her to go from a MacBook Pro to a Windows computer? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but I mean, what if she wants a MacBook Pro? Like that's her laptop of preference.
I told her I didn't have the money to replace a whole new laptop or give her a MacBook Pro or whatever she wanted, but I would pay for her computer so she can go ahead and get her schoolwork done.
Did she offer you money?
Yeah, she offered me $200 to buy a new laptop, and I should be happy with that. These are the
I never gave her a price range. I told her I would go. She said, what kind of computer would you like? I said, I'll get you a Windows, something I got, but I cannot afford an Apple.
I was there actually when that happened. She said, I'm gonna get you a $200 or $300 computer and you better be happy with it.
Do you have an estimate for damages to the laptop? What do you have in terms of proof of how much it would cost to get the laptop repaired?
I have an invoice from Apple. I took it to Apple the very next day to get it assessed.
May I see the invoice? I just need to see the invoice. Do you have proof of the value of this laptop?
Yes.
May I see that too? Okay, so you went to the Genius Bar at Apple.
Yes.
And they quoted you $755 for the laptop, and then This laptop, which is a 2012 Apple MacBook Pro, is valued at $789. In all fairness, I think you should get the value of the laptop. It's $789, judgment for the plaintiff. Good luck, ladies.
Plaintiff Gabriela Carlos says her ex-Tinder lover was going to be her forever boyfriend until she realized he was a cheater and con artist. She's suing for unpaid loans. Defendant Troy Grant says his ex-lover took pleasure in paying his bills, and she only demanded repayment after they broke up.
Gabriela Carlos?
Yes.
You were suing the defendant Troy Grant for $2,900 for several items you say he owes you for that you incurred during the course of your relationship?
That is correct.
And those things include a golf sponsorship, golf trip, other financial help, and golf rental space?
Yes.
Okay, so why don't we start from the very beginning and tell me when and how you met the defendant?
Troy and I met on Tinder, which is like a really popular social dating app. We started talking in December and maybe talked for about 3 or 4 weeks prior to meeting. So we kind of hit it off and we had our first date in January. For me, it was like love at first sight. I was so, excited, and I'm like, God, he's so good looking. And we just really hit it off. And so from that point forward, our relationship progressed and we were spending a lot of, time together. So I, was in love, and I felt like he was too, and there was no reason for me to doubt if he wasn't with me. He'd be calling me 24/7. So what his initial request was to sponsor his, golf tournament.
So you met in January, and the two of you started dating and spending a lot of time together right away. Would that be accurate, sir?
Yeah, we started getting closer and closer, and eventually started seeing each other more.
Okay, and about how long after the two of you initially met and went on that first date do you say he approached you about playing in the golf tournament and you sponsoring him?
I believe we met January 7th, and I believe he asked me to sponsor him January 12th.
So what happens? He tells you about the golf tournament. Tell me about the conversation.
He never really asked me for money in person. It was always via text. And so initially I thought, no,
Well, what did he say to you?
The text was, I have this amazing opportunity. You'll be really excited. I think he even called me to tell me about this amazing phone conversation that he was having that morning about this, tournament that was coming up. And so he had broke it down prior to asking me, he needs to find a sponsor, that he would split the winnings 50-50. And I said, cool, are you going to do it? Like, I didn't think he would ask me to sponsor him, but I do have a business. And so when he approached me, I thought, okay, well, maybe. So I said, let me think about it.
When did he ask you specifically about the money for the golf tournament? What did he say, and how much was it?
He asked, hey, would you like to, sponsor me, this would be good for us. And so he said, well, use your logo. And I said, okay, let me think about it. And then I sent him a text and agreed to give him the initial $700 to, it was like an admittance to the tournament. And so it needed to go into a player's account, which I kind of didn't understand, but I'm not familiar with how golfer tournaments work. And so the money went into his personal account.
And then in addition to that, you found out that he didn't have money for the golf trip, so you gave him an additional $800?
Well, what happened was a few days prior to the golf tournament, he called me and had this elaborate, compelling story, and he was really upset. He had been...
What was the story?
At that time, I had an IRS audit, so I covered my own expenses, which she was just covering the entry fee. Therefore, I couldn't cover my expenses. So then I had asked her, I'm like,
because the audit had frozen your account, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I had no access to funds for a while, like 3 to 4 weeks.
And you had to go on this tournament, but you didn't have
Well, it was already paid.
money?
We already paid for it, yeah.
So you thought the best person to ask was she your girlfriend at the time?
No.
Coming up on Judge Faith, was the cash a loan between lovers or a generous gift from the girlfriend?
We had a full-on 3-week relationship with this woman. She had red flags that were a little more alarming than mine, so she caught on really fast. It took me a little longer.
So you're dating him and he's not with you on Valentine's Day. Isn't that like red flag number 27?
Plaintiff Gabriela Carlos says her ex-lover was taking advantage of her kindness and knew the money wasn't a gift. She's suing for unpaid loans. Defendant Troy Grant says the reason his ex-lover is demanding repayment is because she's angry they broke up.
So then you ask her for another $800, and what do you say? What do you say to her?
It was just the wrong timing and wrong moment for that to happen.
And did she offer, or did you ask?
I brought it up to her, and then since she paid for the entry, she
So you
know,
just raised the
offered-
issue that you were having
Yeah.
some financial issues.
Yeah.
And why are you here now saying that he owes you this money?
There was just after the audit, he supposedly went on the tournament and he came back, and because of the audit, he wasn't able to pay me. And I knew that he had personal expenses with his
Well, had you
family.
discussed at that time that he was going to pay you back?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
but then you go on to give him another $600,
Right,
another
so
$500.
that's what I'm leading towards. So he would tell me at that point that he was going to have his son for the weekend and didn't have any money. And at that point, I was like, oh, my boyfriend, you know, like, let me give him some more money. And I think I would offer to help. I think he asked me 2 or 3 more times, but in some occasions, I'm like, I'll help you, whatever you need. You know, I was offering as well after the fact, because I believe the story of the audit and the tournament and all that. Although
And so when you offered to help, this wasn't an arrangement where when you offered to help, it wasn't a, hey, I'm going to loan you $600 and I need you to pay me back on this date at this time.
I never gave him any money. The money was loaned at all times.
Is that true?
It was offered as help. I told her I would, you know, take care of it, but nothing ever came up until we stopped talking. And
Okay,
then she all of a sudden started pounding me with, you know, court threats and whatever else.
That's not correct, Your Honor. Actually, I did keep trying to ask him, and he's like, well, I can't help it. I'm in the audit. And so I'd be like, okay, and already my intuition was kicking in, like something is not right.
Well, yeah, because you've already given him $700. He hasn't
Exactly.
paid that back. That's red flag. I mean, you meet someone online. I'm aware. Right? And a few weeks later, you give them $700. That's red flag number 1.
Absolutely.
Days later, you give them $800. Red flag number 2. You're saying these are loans. Then you give them $600. Then you give them $500 for child support. How are these not red flags registering
They're
with
all
you?
red flags, and I did question him throughout the entire time.
And so
He
what
had
happens? But you keep
stories.
giving him money, and now you come to court because you want me now to fix all of this. What happens?
Right, after so many red flags, I am aware that something is not right. And I wake up and I'm just like, let me Google him, let me do some more research. And so I typed in his name, golfer, and I came across some really unfortunate Yelp reviews of women that he had done the same thing prior to.
What do you mean by that?
There's a review there that you can read, and it was the initial review that alarmed me. It was the same exact story that had happened to me. This woman wrote the review, and my heart dropped.
Let me see it. Oh, we have it on the flat screen? Okay, let me take a look at it. This guy is a professional scam artist. Do not trust anything he says. He convinces women and men to fund his fake golf tournament entry fees and promises to give you half of the winnings, but never comes through. He does the same thing with his golf lessons. He advertises. He teaches professional golf lessons, but he never shows up. Beware and do not be his next victim. Do you know who wrote that?
Okay, so I'll explain.
Do you know who wrote that?
What's that?
Do you know who wrote that?
It was a girl I previously dated. Actually, while I was dating her.
Did she give you money for a golf tournament?
Yeah, but that's
Or
a total
lessons?
another issue. She knows because they became friends.
We're not friends.
What happened? You contacted this Yelp reviewer.
Yes, I did.
And what happened?
She confirmed that I had been scammed. We exchanged phone numbers, and I later found out that he actually met her on January 22nd, which is the day he was supposed to go on his golf tournament that I sponsored.
Which was on my phone. I didn't meet her in person. I have my text with her, too.
They went on a date, and they also went on a date on Valentine's Day while we were together, and he was supposed to be babysitting. So he had a full-on 3-week relationship with this woman. She had red flags that were a little more alarming than mine, so she caught on really fast. Took me a little longer.
So you're dating him and he's not with you on Valentine's Day? Isn't that like red flag number 27?
Yes, it was.
But when you're dating, you're not with them. I'm single.
You need to stop giving money to people you just met online.
Your Honor, we had a great time.
You know,
we had a great
if you didn't have
relationship.
this Yelp review, I'm going to tell you right now, today would not have been a good day for you.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
One day, you're going to cross the wrong woman, and she's going to look at you and tell you like Celie from The Color Purple. You may not know who that is. Everything you've done to me already been done to you. Life will let you get away with some things for a time period, but eventually it all comes back around.
I understand that.
It's always going to come back around. For you, it's going to start today. I'm ordering you to pay the plaintiff. She just has proof that you're a scam artist and a con. $2,900 just for the plaintiff. You need to stop scamming people, sir.
Plaintiff Joe Wheeler says to help his nephew through a bitter divorce, he loaned him money and a truck. He's suing for an unpaid loan and a truck transmission. Defendant John Weiss says his uncle was a guardian angel when he needed one most, but the money was a gift that he never intended to pay back.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Wheeler versus Weiss.
Thank you, Juan. Joe Wheeler,
Yes, Your Honor.
you are suing the defendant, John Weiss,
Yes, Your Honor.
for $4,139. You say he owes you for unpaid loans and truck transmission repair costs?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll start from the beginning. Why don't you give me some background on you and the defendant? I understand he's your nephew.
He's my nephew. Unfortunately, we've lost contact about 20 years ago. The only time I saw him was 2 years ago at my brother's funeral, and he had his daughter with him.
So how did the two of you reconnect?
I'd heard that his wife had served him divorce papers, which is ironic because she always worried about him, and then she's the one that has the affair and flaunts it in his face and in front of the kids and everything else. It's a very, very tragic story. I'd heard that he was having problems, and I could understand he was married 28 years or something like that. My heart went out to him. Again, he's my nephew, I love him. I asked other family members if I could talk to him or if they could get him to call me. He called, we talked, and we, really got together about every day. We'd read the Bible, we'd pray, we'd read different articles about getting your act back together because he wasn't gonna fight the case at all. But then he got representation.
He got a lawyer.
Yes, ma'am.
Why don't you tell me, so what was going on with you? Your wife had an affair that you found out about?
Yes, we was married 28 years, and I found out about it February 14th, and it just destroyed me.
It was Valentine's Day?
Yes.
How did you find out?
Through a note. I accidentally found one of her letters, and she was the love of my life, and at that time, I honestly didn't care about anything. I didn't care if I made it, lived, died, or whatever. I didn't because I was so distraught by it.
And how many children did you have with her?
Two beautiful kids.
But your uncle came in to help you,
He
right?
sure did. He was my guardian angel. If it wasn't for him, I just told you, I wouldn't have cared.
And the two of you lived in the same city all this time in Cincinnati and had not been in touch in many years?
Sure. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And so what happens? You get in touch with Mr. Wise, and you said that the two of you started spending a lot of time together. You
Yes.
wanted to help him through this difficult time.
Yes, Your Honor.
When did the financial part come into play?
It came up that he found a nice divorce lawyer, well represented in the Cincinnati area, and they wanted to do it for $4,000. He was dead broke because, he hasn't worked a lot because his wife didn't want him to work outside the home.
And so you say loaned him $2,000. I want you to tell me about the conversation you had with your uncle about the $2,000 that he gave you for the divorce lawyer.
It just, we're just saying that I need $2,000 to get a lawyer to get it going. And my uncle says, we're family, that he can help out. I just said, God bless and thank you, and that was about it.
So he according to you, he never mentioned anything about this being a loan or you paying him back?
That's not true, Your
What do you
Honor.
say you said?
It was very clear in the arrangement with his wife before the divorce was to get the 2 burial plots that they bought as a couple. And she in turn got like 80% of the house appliances and furniture and some Disneyland tickets. And that was the deal. When the divorce came through in that November, he said, I will pay you back.
Did you say that to him?
From that.
I do not recall that, Your Honor. No, I don't.
You don't recall saying it, so you could have said it?
No, I don't think I did say that.
It's not true. I mean, that's the sad part is it was dated in our minds of when he got divorced in November.
Because you didn't put this in writing?
No.
Okay.
He's my nephew. I didn't think I needed to put anything in writing. He didn't know what to do, first of all.
So he got the lawyer, and you paid for half of it, and you paid for the other half of the $4,000 fee?
No, I'm still paying on that.
But what happened in the divorce? So you do work, right?
Well, I'm 5'5" for disability. I have health problems.
How do you support yourself and your children?
Well, right now I'm getting $500 support from my ex-wife.
Alimony?
Alimony, and I get in the range of $275 to $300 child support.
Okay, and what other income do you have?
That's it.
Coming up, Judge Faith helps heal the hurt.
I mean, this is your uncle, right? And you have not had a relationship with him for 20 years. And he gives you $2,000.
I thought we were family, and it was a gift.
You say this is a gift, you say this is a loan, so I have to make a judgment call.
And later, did the exes do an illegal deal?
She gives me $1,000, I take it, and I went to him, and he was like, I can't get anything right now.
Did you get the boost?
I didn't.
And where's the money?
He hasn't.
Where's he?
Plaintiff Joe Wheeler says he always expected the money back. He's suing for an unpaid loan and a truck transmission. Defendant John Weiss says the money was a gift.
Was he working at the time?
Not while I've known him.
Okay, and how did you expect him to pay you back if he wasn't working and he didn't have any income or any money at the time? You thought he'd get money in a divorce settlement?
Well, that's what I tried to explain earlier, Your Honor, is he was getting the burial plots, and he did not want to be buried next to his in-laws, so he was going to get them, sell them, and pay me back.
Did you sell the burial plots?
No, I have not.
But you still have the ability to sell them?
Yes, I do.
You're also suing for $1,700 for the replacement on a transmission on a truck?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about that.
What happened in this case was he had to sell his car to pay rent, which I didn't know about, but then I found out about it. And he said he needs some transportation, and I had my truck there. I didn't need it in the wintertime because I do asphalt work. I made two stipulations. I told him, have gas in it when I get it back, and you have to check the fluids because the transmission and the oil leaks.
But you loaned it to him for 2 months, and what do you say happened during that 2-month time period?
He didn't put fluid in it.
And as a result, it needs a brand new transmission?
I had to get a replacement transmission.
The transmission was fine. It was driving.
He only had it for 2 months.
It was shifting. So I didn't think, I'm no mechanic.
So you don't feel that you owe for, this is your uncle, right? And you have not had a relationship with him for 20 years.
True.
He comes in the picture in your time of need, and he gives you $2,000 for your divorce lawyer fees, for something very specific. Why do you think you don't owe for that money?
I thought we were family, and it was a gift. That's how I felt.
He knows my situation. I'm on disability myself. And he knows that I don't have $2,000 just to be nilly-nilly with it with other people.
May I see proof that you paid $1,789 to fix the transmission on this truck?
Yes, ma'am.
And the truck is only worth, what's the Blue Book value of the truck?
I got that also, Your Honor. But Your Honor, if
why would you pay $1,789 to fix? The truck is worth, in good condition, $2,414. Why would you pay $1,798 to get the transmission fixed?
Because I would have to replace it with a $10,000 or $20,000 vehicle.
This is a case where there's nothing in writing between the two of you. You say this is a gift, you say this is a loan, so I have to make a judgment call. I'm gonna make a judgment call in this case based on the fact that this was someone you had been estranged from for 20 years. He didn't know you that well, but you were in a time of need. I think it was a loan, and I think he expected to be repaid. He doesn't make a lot of money. He's on disability, and I believe him when he said he could not afford to give you $2,000, but he came in, he wanted to help you out, and he was there for you. He did more than give you money. He was actually physically there for you, as he said, and as he wrote in his papers. He sat with you, he prayed with you, he helped you through a very emotionally difficult time.
Yeah, I love him, and I hate that this has come this far in this way.
I love you, Uncle Joe.
I love you too, buddy.
I love both of you. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to order you to pay back the $2,000 for the divorce lawyer fees and the $180 for the case filing fee. In addition, now that I've reviewed what you've submitted in terms of the work order that was submitted in evidence to me, it actually states that the transmission needed fluid, and that was a factor in the fact that this was a very old car, it had over 100,000 miles on it, but there was an issue with the fluid, and you testified today in court that you did not put fluid in the transmission for 2 months. So, to be fair, I think you should pay for half. And he actually had this transmission replaced right after you returned the car to his possession. So to be fair, I think that you should pay for half of the transmission. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff, $3,080, and I wish the best of luck to both of you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Plaintiff Solali Martinez says she gave money to her ex-boyfriend because he had a hookup on buying designer boots. She's suing for a refund. Defendant Eric McLaughlin says he doesn't owe anything because he tried to deliver on his promise, but his hookup took off with his ex-girlfriend's money.
Solali Martinez?
Yes, Your Honor.
You were suing the defendant Eric McLaughlin?
Yes, Your Honor.
For $1,400 for the cost of Gucci boots he was supposed to purchase for you from a high-end department store?
That is correct.
Okay, so why don't we start from the very beginning and you tell me what's going on?
Okay, so I've known Eric for roughly about 8 years now. We met when we were in high school. He contacted me through text message, and he asked me if I was interested in purchasing something from a department store for a discounted price.
Okay, and what was going on?
I had done it for her before. Like, she had already asked me to do it one time before.
Asked you to do what?
To purchase something for her from the high-end retail store.
Did you
for
work
the
at the
discount.
store?
No, I have a friend who works at the store.
So you have a friend who works at a department store, and tell me exactly how this was supposed to work.
He gets me a discount. I give him the money, and he'll bring me back the merchandise, but he'll do it at a discounted price. And
he uses his employee discount to buy things for you.
And I was just the middleman, handing the money from one person and the merchandise to the other person.
How often were you doing this with your friend?
Not often. I did it for one time, and everything was smooth. Like, it went perfectly fine. And then she asked me to do it again. She wanted boots. And
what kind of boots?
Gucci boots.
Okay.
They're like horseback riding boots or something like that. I'm not sure. And
Gucci riding boots.
Yes.
That's what you wanted.
Yes.
Okay. And did you contact her when she asked about the boots? Did you contact her initially?
That one.
He was actually dating one of my friends, really. That was the situation. And he contacted me via text message.
That's not it.
And asked me if I was interested in getting things again from this department store. And of course, I was like, you know what? That's a good idea. I usually do most of my shopping around Black Friday, and it was almost Christmas. So I agreed to it, and I ended up giving him $1,000. And I was like, okay, you know what? It's okay. Like, I trust you. Like, I mean, I know him. I don't think he's gonna run off with my money.
So she gives me $1,000. I take it, and I went to him. And he was like, I can't get anything right now. Like, I'm not trying to get in trouble or anything. Like, I got too much stuff.
Because it's against company policy for him to use his employee discount to purchase items for someone else under the table. But go ahead.
Yes. He told me that he was going to order them, and when they got there, he would get them, but at the time, he couldn't do it.
Did you give him the $1,000?
I gave him all the money.
So you gave him $1,000?
Yes.
And he told you he can't get the boots at that time because he didn't want to get in trouble.
He gave me a date when he could get them, and I gave it to her. I told her
you gave the date to her?
I told her when she was going to receive them.
Did you get the boots?
I didn't.
Okay, so, and where's the money?
He has it.
Where's he?
Coming up, the devil is in the details.
So you say you never got the boots?
I never went and picked them up.
He told me he had them like 4 times.
Did you tell her that?
I don't recall.
Stop. We're not going to do this I don't recall, because you do recall.
Plaintiff Solali Martinez says her ex-boyfriend lost the money she gave him for expensive designer boots. She's suing for a refund. Defendant Eric McLaughlin says he owes nothing because his designer boot hookup took off with the money.
You know where he works? Did you go back to where he worked?
I asked. He disappeared. So
he didn't work there anymore?
I don't know. I didn't visit him there.
So you never went back to where he worked to look for him after you say he disappeared with $1,000?
I contacted him. I called him. I texted him. I tried to get in contact with him. I blew his phone up just like she was blowing mine up. Whenever she called me, I call him. Because it was the same thing.
So how do you know he disappeared?
Because he didn't pick up his phone.
Okay, that doesn't mean he disappeared. You know where he works. You know where he works?
He had told me he had ordered the boots. He said he had them. He was going to pick them up. So he lagged out that giving them to me in a 3-week time period. So I just figured, well, if you still haven't went and picked them up, what if I give you more money and you can get me something else as well? So
you gave him another $1,000 for what?
Just to get me something else, like a clutch or something. I just figured I'd make the most out of my money if he was going to be doing that.
I didn't know like an exact item. I was just going to get her a gift card. She could go buy whatever she wanted.
But you were aware of this because you wrote he was going to get a gift card.
So that's why there wasn't a specific item. I was like, I can pick out whatever I want.
What's the hookup with the gift card?
Honestly, it wasn't a gift. It's a exchange card. Like you exchange something and then. But you give him a certain amount of money and he exchanges something that costs more. And
what does it sound like to you, Juan?
Sounds like that's why he don't work there no more.
Yeah, this is why if he got caught and he didn't tell me he got caught, like that's what happened, but I don't know because I haven't talked to him since then. He's been dipping and dodging me. Like even my friends that know him, they haven't seen him. Like.
So you say you never got the boots?
He told me he got the boots, and I texted her. I was like,
you said you never got them.
I never went and picked them up.
He told me he had them like 4 times.
Did you tell her that?
I don't recall.
Stop. We're not going to do this I don't recall, because you do recall. So you gave him $2,000 in cash, but you're only suing for $1,400. Did he pay you some of the money?
He did. He paid me $600 back, and this was in November around Thanksgiving.
Okay, so he gave you $600. Mm-hmm. Why'd you give her $600 and not anything else?
Because dude disappeared, and I felt bad. I know her. It's not like I don't know her. Like I used to date her. Like I'm not just a cold-hearted person.
Why don't you think you owe the money?
Because I didn't take. Somebody else ran off with it. If somebody else ran off with it, I'm not.
And this is just a part of the game when it happens?
Yeah, I mean, you got to charge it to the game. That's just something that happens. Like, I mean, she knew the risk. She knew you got to be responsible for that.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
All right, here's what we're going to do. I'm looking at this case, the first $1,000 and the second $1,000 in different respects. The first $1,000, I don't think you thought you were doing anything wrong when you gave him $1,000 for the Gucci boots, especially if now we know they cost about $1,100. What really concerns me is the second $1,000 you gave him for the gift card, because at this point, this is just fraud. If you give someone $1,000 for a gift card, you should only expect to get a $1,000 gift card. So your friend, if he exists, is committing theft at that point, and the two of you are aiding and abetting in that theft, and you're receiving stolen merchandise if you take a gift card that you only paid $1,000 for, but it's worth more. You know, what the two of you are really doing is engaging in fraud against this company at that point, especially with the gift card. So here's what I think is fair. On the second $1,000, I'm not going to order him to pay you that money back, because it was an illegal transaction from the very beginning. The first $1,000, I don't think you were aware that it was wrong for you to try to get this hookup. So the $600 that he already paid you, I'm going to apply that to the $1,000 I find he owes you in this case, and that leaves a remaining balance of $400 he owes you. The second $1,000, you're just going to have to take that as an expensive lesson to learn in this situation. So judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $400.
Eric should have paid me the full amount because he did sign a contract saying he would refund me.
If you're doing something that has no guarantee, you just got to charge it to the game at the end of the day if it doesn't work out.
Plaintiff Jacob Lewis says he got a surprise visit from IRS agents informing him his cousin had altered his tax return and stolen his identity. He's suing for his tax refund. Defendant Jehoadan Wilson says her cousin is suing because he's hard up for cash and she doesn't owe anything. She's accompanied by Joanne Wilson.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Lewis versus Wilson.
Thank you, Juan. Jacob Lewis.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are suing the defendant, Jehoadan Wilson, for $6,086 for a tax return refund?
That's correct, Your
And
Honor.
as I understand from reviewing your papers and your evidence, the defendant was your former tax preparer.
Yes, that is
And you
correct.
are alleging that she filed a false return and kept the refund from that return, and you're suing her in court today?
That is correct, Your
So
Honor.
why don't we start from the beginning? Tell me how you know Ms. Wilson in addition to being your tax preparer.
Ms. Wilson is actually my cousin. On this one particular occasion in 2010 or 2009, she called me and stated that she was moving and she needed my help. She was getting evicted. She was actually getting evicted.
Were you getting evicted?
No, I wasn't, Your Honor.
She was getting evicted, Your Honor, and the house that she was in was stolen.
What do you mean by a stolen house? You mean she was squatting?
No, she broke into the house and moved all her furniture in there and was staying there.
Okay, so that is squatting. Were you squatting in someone's house, ma'am?
No, Your Honor.
Did you have a legal right to be in this home?
Yes, Your Honor.
Whose home was it?
It was my home I was leasing. I don't know where he's concocted this story.
So you weren't being evicted, you were just moving to, where did you move?
I moved to Brentwood, Your Honor. At that time, he was helping me move into a new residence of mine.
And she moved into a new home? Where did you move her?
I moved her, I got her stuff into the U-Haul.
Are you an accountant?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Okay, when did you get your license?
I am not a CPA, a certified public accountant. I am a business accountant. So I am certified and registered as a tax preparer, and I got registered in 2009. That's October 2009.
What evidence do you have that she was squatting?
She told me that she had to move out this place, and she had to get out right now.
Because?
Because she was getting evicted out of the house. It was somebody else's house.
And did you tell him that?
No, Your Honor.
Why the pause?
Because I was seeing, he said that, he was helping me move, and he didn't help me move out nowhere. He helped me move into my new residence. So how did he help me move out somewhere
That's
when
untrue,
he
Your
helped me
Honor.
move in?
That's-
So it's two different stories going on here.
Okay, but
so you can see that it's not true.
Well, no, I don't know. I'm just asking you, did you ever tell him what you
Absolutely
said you
not,
told
Your
him?
Honor.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Okay. What year is it that you say you helped her move, sir?
It was maybe 2009, 2010.
What county?
Contra Costa County, and still remain in Contra Costa County.
And in November 2009, you had a case filed against you for an unlawful detainer charge filed against you. What's that
Yes.
about?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, in 2009, I pulled your background. I did a background check on you.
I don't remember, Your Honor, I'm
and
sorry.
in 2009, you had a case against you in Contra Costa County in the state of California. You had an unlawful detainer charge against you. You don't remember that case?
No, I do think that's incorrect. I do think that's incorrect. I do not remember the case. I do not remember the date. I don't remember
When
at
did you
all.
move her? Or what month?
2009.
What month?
November, about November, December, something
November
like that.
20th, 2009, ma'am. That's on your
November
record.
November 20th, 2009, I was not moving.
I thought you said you didn't remember.
No, he helped me move in June of 2009. So that does not, that does not coordinate the dates. That's why I said I don't know anything about that. So the dates don't coordinate.
How convenient. How convenient.
Yeah, how convenient. Yeah, I do have you all receipts. So
you don't remember an unlawful detainer case filed against you in 2009. You have absolutely no memory of what that's
Absolutely
about
not.
and what
Absolutely
happened to
not.
that case.
Absolutely
Did you go to
not.
court?
Absolutely, I don't know, Your Honor. I don't remember.
Ma'am, do you remember anything about this? Is this this is your mother? Would you step
Yes.
over to the lectern, please? Ms. Wilson, do you know anything about this unlawful detainer filed against your daughter in November of 2009?
I don't actually remember what years like that, but I remember something about she went to court about,
So she told you she went to court for unlawful detainer.
I just knew that in Brentwood, it was something going on with a landlord and my daughter, and she was going to court fighting, dealing with a situation of a house. That's all I know.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
She was being honest. You're not.
Because, Your Honor, it has nothing to do with the case. It has nothing to do with the case.
I make that determination, not you.
Coming up on Judge Faith, this isn't the first time one of these cousins has been to court.
So according to you, you never finished your 2010 return with her.
I never. She went to jail again on something else.
Is that true?
Plaintiff Jacob Lewis says he discovered he was the victim of a tax fraud ring when the FBI raided his cousin's business. He's suing for his tax refund. Defendant Jehoadan Wilson says she doesn't owe her cousin any money because she correctly filed his tax return.
Tell me about your lawsuit against her, sir. Tell me about the allegations you're making that she fraudulently prepared your 2010 tax return.
I went to her office. She got my personal information, my personal, my...
What year is this?
This is approximately 2011.
2011 for your 2010 return?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You go to her office, you give her your personal information, you say, this is how much money I made this year, and I want you to file this tax return for me.
Right.
Is that true?
No, that's not true.
Okay. What do you say happened?
Okay. I give her my personal identifying information. I talk to her cuz. She say, yeah, okay, sign this, sign that, right?
Did she prepare your tax return for 2010?
She prepared them, but not right then.
And was it filed with the IRS?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what's the issue?
Later on, the IRS called me at my home and says, where are you at? We need to talk to you and everything. I'm at home. They come to my home. IRS agent. I ain't never seen an IRS agent. The IRS agent showed me pictures of her mama, of her brother, and told me this is an identity theft ring. Do you own a business? This is what the IRS agent asked me. Do you own a business? I said, no, sir, Your Honor. I said, no, sir, I don't. He said, have you ever owned a business? I've never owned a business. Okay, and then he studied writing stuff as I'm telling him, okay? You show me their pictures and say you've been a victim of identity theft.
What did they say happened?
She filed my tax return as a business.
Show me what the IRS gave you.
Okay.
Did you not look at your 2010 return when she completed it and sign off on it? And it
I didn't have a knowledge of it.
But you went to her to file your 2010 return. Did you not see a completed return that was submitted to the IRS?
No.
You never saw that?
No.
So according to you, she never finished the 2010 return?
She sent me a letter later on stating that she needed to update her credentials and she going on vacation.
So according to you, you never finished your 2010 return with her?
I never. She went to jail again on something else.
Is that true?
No, it's not true.
Okay, so according to you, no return was ever filed for you on 2010 according to your knowledge, but the IRS is saying that it was.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what is your version of this?
With his permission, I did file a 2000 tax return.
2010 tax return.
Yeah.
When did you do that?
It was filed, I believe, in 2011.
In that 2010 tax return, which I have a copy of here, and you're saying this is the return that you prepared on his behalf.
Yes, Your
correct?
Honor. Yes.
Did he get a refund?
Yes, he did.
He got a refund of over $4,000, and it was wired into 2 different bank accounts. Who do these bank accounts belong to? You prepared this return, correct? You put this information in this return, correct?
No, that's not correct.
Who did, if you didn't?
I filed a tax return on his behalf. I did not put any information on the paper.
Where did this information come from?
From just conversations, statements from the client.
Who submitted this to the IRS?
It was electronically filed originally.
By who, ma'am?
By my office, Your Honor.
By you?
Yes, in my office.
Okay, by you. There are 2 bank accounts on this 2010 tax return.
Yes.
Money is being directed into 2 bank accounts. Who do these bank accounts belong to?
One is mine, my business, okay? And then the second one is his account.
Mine.
Why are you depositing
Your Honor,
funds
she never deposited.
into,
For my
not
fees.
asking you a question.
It was for my fees, Your Honor.
No, ma'am. That is inappropriate, and it is unethical.
Actually, the law didn't change until
Absolutely
this year.
not. Absolutely not. If you think for 1 second you're going to come in here and tell me that this is a new law, that as a tax preparer, that as a tax preparer, you can legally have your client's funds transferred electronically into your account, I'm telling you right now, that game is not going to work with me.
Okay, well, Your Honor,
it is absolutely inappropriate.
Yes,
under no circumstances, not in 2015, not in 2010, not in 1965, were you supposed to have funds transferred into your bank account.
Coming up, the cousin versus cousin caper gets even more complicated.
Why does it say this return is self-prepared,
Because of the software was very basic.
You have got to be kidding me.
Plaintiff Jacob Lewis says his cousin fraudulently filed his tax return and stole his identity. He's suing for his tax refund. Defendant Jehoadan Wilson says she did nothing wrong and owes no money.
Are you saying that the funds, there are two bank accounts listed? She said one is hers, one is yours. Did you ever receive, is this your bank account listed on this 2010 return?
No, Your Honor, that's not my bank account.
Have you seen the 2010 return?
No, not other than what I gave you.
How much did you have transferred into your
Your Honor,
account?
that's what I'm trying to explain, Your Honor. There was no money transferred to my account. Initially, there
You just said it
was,
was.
in 2013, initially there was supposed to be, but he got audited. The IRS stopped the transfer. No money was transferred. The IRS stopped it because he got audited. They submitted documentation to him via his address saying that we're not going to release any money. That's the documentation I provided to you. We're not going to release any money until you provide us more additional information.
Well, where did this $2,500 payment you say in your answer, where did that come from?
In what year, Your Honor?
Did you file more than one tax return on his behalf?
Yes, we had a working relationship.
What year do you say you filed taxes on his behalf?
I filed his 2009 tax return. I filed his 2010 tax return.
After 2010, what year?
2011 was the final tax return.
Do you have a copy of that return?
Yes, I do have a copy, Your Honor.
When did you charge him $2,500 for?
In 2012.
2012.
Yes.
And where did that money come from?
It came from his tax return, Your Honor. My fees were deposited from his tax return into my business account.
You say you prepared this return?
Yes, Your Honor.
Why does it say it's self-prepared?
Because, Your Honor, when I first started my business, I was using a basic software, so it was no pre-filled PDF. Pre-filled PDF is basically when you could type in your information.
Why does it say this return is self-prepared,
Because of the software was very basic. I was cheap at the time. I was just starting out.
Why does this say, instead of your name, why did you type in self-prepared instead of your name?
Because the software wouldn't allow me to.
Because of a software glitch?
No, it wasn't a glitch. It was just a cheap software.
It didn't allow you to put your name as a preparer. It only allowed you to put that a return is self-prepared?
Yeah, it was very basic.
This is the whole ongoing scheme, Your Honor. This is the whole ongoing.
Yeah, and there are plenty of basic softwares out. It's not a professional software.
You have got to be kidding me.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Yeah.
I told you, Your Honor.
You have got to be kidding me. You said in 2012 he received his 2010 tax refund, which was over $4,000.
No, I did not say that.
Yeah, you're saying that now because it's not really joshing with your story that you're telling in court right now, right?
Right.
That's the first honest thing you've said in court today.
Oh, thank you.
You said you withdrew his refund in cash minus your fee of $2,500 for his 2010 refund. So I have
2011. That's the 2011.
So this is another typo? This is another
It's supposed to be 2011.
editing glitch?
Yeah.
You cannot possibly expect me to take you seriously as a tax preparer, not knowing the law and commingling funds. And I don't think you're just ignorant of the law. I think that you're just unethical.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
There are several issues here. First, you've told me so many different stories. I'm not exactly sure what happened to all of the money in this refund, but clearly you got some money from this, and you did it in an inappropriate way. You still haven't explained to me why he was charged $2,500 for you to do his tax refund, which is an outrageous amount of money to charge someone for doing their refund. You filing these returns and you have it as self-prepared. And you signed these returns under penalty of perjury, and you're perjuring yourself to the federal government.
I didn't sign the tax return, Your Honor.
Your Honor, the IRS and the FBI ran into their houses and took their hard drives.
Are you being investigated by the IRS, or have you been?
Your Honor, I was questioned only because of some things that happened in the business, but I was not involved in all of the things. I had employees and all that other stuff, so I'm a business.
You have to take this up with the IRS. What you have to do is you have to then go and file your own paper return with the IRS, let them know that, and you have been in contact with them.
I have.
They alerted you.
And they told me in order for me to get my refund back, to take it to civil court and ask for restitution.
If she inappropriately received funds from the federal government, the federal government has to get that money from her and then reallocate it to you.
Well, they had frozen her accounts. They froze her accounts.
Have your accounts been frozen?
No, Your Honor.
It's really impossible for me to determine exactly what has happened here. I don't have 4 weeks to spend on this case because there's absolutely a lot going on here. But what I do see for sure is that the defendant concedes that she took $2,500 from you and charged you. You cannot speak again. I don't want to hear your voice again in this courtroom. In her papers, she testified in her answer that she received a refund on your behalf and had that deposited into her business account, which was completely inappropriate. And she said that she kept $2,500 of that money and gave the rest to you. She probably didn't give the rest to you, but I'm just saying what she said in her papers. What I'm going to do here today is what I can in my jurisdiction, which is order her to pay you, to refund you that $2,500. The rest of your issues, you really have to go back and take that up with the federal government.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to walk
Judgment in this case
out.
for the plaintiff. Trust me, no one's happier to hear that than me. Judgment for the plaintiff, $2,500.